starting.
Oh, well, why don't I start then? Hello, Internet. You're probably asking yourself 3 questions. 1, who the hell's that?
That's true, they are.
It's my sister Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Internet.
Yes, you have to be cool.
Yes.
The second question. What's with this?
I guess I said that daily.
Well, it's Christmas Eve as we shoot this. I'm on vacation. I don't feel like shaving. The third question you might be asking. Are they wearing pants?
He's my brother. Ding.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they're wearing pants.
Okay, so for this video, we're going to talk about movie quotes that have stuck with us. Now, these aren't going to necessarily be our top 3 favorite movies or the greatest lines spoken in the history of cinema. No, they're just quotes that, for whatever reason, have stuck with us over the years because they're really funny, because they're really stupid, because they're particularly insightful, reasons like that. So, who's going first?
I can get us started.
Okay, go.
Because I have one that's not from a movie, so I broke the rules just a bit. So we'll start.
We're off to a good start.
I'm a rule breaker. I'm an Eisen. You've known it.
Okay. She'll squeeze the toothpaste tube from the middle. She's a rebel. You can't stop this one.
No.
Milk straight from the carton, man. That's the kind of person she is. That's how she rolls.
You see me rolling? Okay.
They hate. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to start with everyone's favorite, Seinfeld. Okay, Andy doesn't watch Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld. I never watched it the first time around.
I have heard of it.
Yes. And I shall take you now on a trip to the Shrinkage episode, which we all know and love. And he's never seen it and he laughs because who nowadays doesn't know what shrinkage is? The line, of course, is when they call Elaine into the room, Jerry and George have been discussing, how cold it is in the pool. I'm setting the scene for you, my friend. They know where I am.
Oh, okay.
And they ask Elaine, do you know about shrinkage? And she says, what, like in laundry? And they said, no, like when a man comes out of a pool. She says the best quote, and it sums up my feelings day to day. I don't know how you guys walk around with those things. And I don't. I mean, I'm sorry, Andy is very perplexed, but I don't know how you walk around with those things.
Well, there's a lot of things that women do that I don't know how you deal with, but yeah, well, it's not too hard. Presently.
Thank God. You're surrounded by your sister and cats.
Yeah. Hi, Lucas. So that's your quote. I don't know how you guys deal with that thing.
I don't know how you guys walk around with that thing.
Walk around with it. Well, that's why we're always doing this.
But it sums up a female's perspective of the male gender. Like, you all think we're perplexing. You're just as perplexing, but mainly just anatomically.
Mm. So my quote, Seinfeld. Okay, so my first quote, and I'm looking off over here because I have my laptop sitting on a chair with a Word document that has all my quotes on it because I couldn't be bothered to remember 3 things.
Mine's up here, yo.
I think I left my mind in San Diego. We're in Kentucky.
And your razor.
And my razor. I miss it so. Okay, so wonderful film called The Last Unicorn. Have you seen it?
So long ago.
Yeah, it's an animated film, and it's about the last unicorn. And in the mythology of this film, unicorns are effectively immortal. They either are truly immortal or they just live so long that they may as well be. And the Red Bull is chasing the last unicorn, and I think his name is Schmendrick, the magician, Schmendrick, panicking in order to save her he turns the unicorn into a human, because the Red Bull's only after unicorns. So he changes her into a human, and the Red Bull's like, oh, no unicorn. Back to my bridge game, and he leaves.
I think I've seen this.
So the unicorn, who's now in a human body, is like, oh God, oh, this is horrible. And he's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't think of anything else. And she says, here's the quote, I can feel this body dying all around me. Yeah, that's one that's just stuck with me. Because I never thought of immortality in that way. Because it's interesting, because if you live forever, and then you're suddenly in a body that, even though she's in the body of like a 20-year-old, her life is finite, and even though it's aging and it'll take a good 60 to 80 years to actually die, in comparison to living as long as she normally would, she can actually feel that body getting older and deteriorating, even because what's 80 years to an immortal? So her crying out, I can feel this body dying all around me, it's just something that's stuck with me over the years.
That's awesome.
So.
That makes me feel old now.
Yeah.
Does she die?
No.
No, good. Does she become a unicorn again?
Well, she finds the rest of the unicorns, which the Red Bull had basically herded and driven into the sea. Apparently, they can't drown either.
Oh, that's not.
And swim. They just wander around on the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah, and when they try to come out, the Red Bull's like, oh. But they basically convince all the unicorns to rise up and charge out of the surf at the Red Bull, and the Red Bull's like, look over there, and he bugs off. Look at this hand, at her. So that's one and there's a lot of great stuff in that movie, especially the cat.
What year
I love
is this?
that. Oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 90s. I'll if I'm wrong, and I very well may be, I'll put the year the movie came out on a little subtitle or something. So yeah,
nice.
last unicorn.
All right. So since we're getting deep, I'm gonna go with the deep.
Okay.
And this comes from animated.
Hey, all right.
And animated, deep and animated. Who knew? Disney's Beauty and the Beast. I love this movie.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? It's so pretty, and it was up for an Academy Award for Best Picture, and then they were like, oh, well, now we have to make its own category. Okay, enough with the Oscars. You can actually, the great thing about Beauty and the Beast is if you go back and you watch it and you listen to all the songs, like there's some incredibly witty or incredibly insightful or just really good things within all of those songs. True story, we were actually singing the Gaston song, very randomly, the other day.
Yeah.
And I had already chosen my quote, but we just happened to be singing the song, and go back, listen to it. It's brilliantly written. Anyways, the Kill the Beast song is where I want to take you to the end, when Gaston has rallied all of his troops, and he says those great lines to Belle, if you're not with us, you're against us, which that's not my quote, but it's hilarious.
It's funny because it's true.
Because it's true. If you're not with us, you're against us.
No shades of gray, buddy.
Wow, fantastic.
50? Ha! There ain't one.
So it goes back into the song, and they sing, we don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us. And I think
we don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us. Da, da, da,
yeah,
da,
exactly.
Da, 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 yeah.
And that's the point, is that I don't know the
I don't remember the rest of it, but that line is gold because it's stuck with me.
I remember that we don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us. And I think that, this is a Disney movie, and I just think that is the most insightful thing, ever. And that's a lot. No. And that's just, we don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us. And that's true. That's exactly, I'm not going to go into it because this is about movie quotes, but there are some political hot topics out there that people...
What now?
When aren't there political hot topics?
Oh, but it's Christmas.
Exactly. We're not going to go into it. Anyways, that's the whole thing, is that people get very... up in arms about things that they just cannot comprehend, rather than just letting it be. Like there was a guy who just, like my brother, who forgot his razor at home and became this big old hairy beast. Yeah, But, beasts can love. I mean, if he can talk,
And sing.
And sing. Well, Robbie Benson, we salute you.
Robbie Benson didn't know you had a rich
Right?
baritone on it.
Like, Robbie Benson! And then he's like... I mean, I know he's been helped out a little bit.
When I was 14, I had no idea who the hell Robbie Benson was.
This is true, but Mom was impressed.
And so we were impressed because we wanted to impress her.
Right. Yeah.
Was she impressed?
I don't know.
I think she saw it straight through.
I don't know.
She's probably like, you have no idea who that is.
She's like, you don't know who Robbie Benson is?
You're posturing.
These people don't know who Robbie Benson is.
Do you know who Robbie Benson is?
IMDb, friends.
Yeah, get a picture of this guy. Pull up a picture of this guy from the early 90s, and then imagine, the Beast's booming baritone. You come out or I'll break down the door! That kind of a voice coming out of this little pipsqueak of a guy, and it's like, oh. Never knew he had it in him.
There you go. All right.
My second quote is from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh. We love that movie.
The remake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really? Now I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen the remake?
No, I saw the remake.
Jackie Earle Haley?
Yeah, I love Kim. I saw it in Sarasota at the midnight showing. Whoa.
Like opening night?
Like the opening night, midnight.
Wow.
Like I went back and I had to call an opera at the next day. Well, I didn't call the opera. My friends could be watching. I was on the side of the stage. I told players when to go.
Right. So, unfortunately, this quote, as great as I think it is probably the only good thing in the movie.
Oh.
I did like the idea of micro naps. Basically, one of the things that this movie brings to the table is the more sleep deprived you are, you can just kind of nod off during the day and just sleep for a split second or even a couple seconds. But that short amount of time that you just, that's enough for Kruger, to break his foot off in your bum.
He's a swift little man.
Oh yeah, he's just sitting right. Poke. Yeah. So, one of the characters in the movie, gets in the dream world, and Kruger grabs him and basically punches a hole through his heart. So, yeah, not walking away from that one. So it happens in the dream, and in the real world, his chest explodes. And so you have the character laying, on the ground, blood, eyes staring off into nowhere, the camera panning into his face, probably referencing Psycho, but, and I may have the camera movement wrong, but this is how I remember it, so it must have been the way it happened.
He looked at the quote, not the scene.
Right, exactly. I only saw it once. So, dies in the dream, it cuts to real life where the character's actually dead, and if you've seen Nightmare on Elm Street, you think this is where it ends. But it actually switches back to the dream world, and this character is still alive. He's strung upside down, and Kruger's in his face, taunting him. And he says, "Did you know that after the heart stops beating, the brain can function for well over 7 minutes? We got 6 more minutes to play." And I was sitting there in the theater going,
I remember that now.
dude, that's awesome! I never thought of that. I've been a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street since, excuse me for a second. I've been a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street since 1984 when I was 4 years old and Mom took me to the theater to see it. Probably not. I probably saw it on television like in 85 or 86 or something, the edited version. I probably didn't see the unedited version until the 90s. But
we saw some of them in the theater.
That's true. But I was 4 years old in 1984, so probably didn't catch that one in the theater. Ghostbusters, my favorite movie, also 1984. Probably didn't catch that one in the theater at 4 years old, but probably saw it on TV. So, did you know that after the heart stops beating, the brain can function for well over 7 minutes? We got 6 more minutes to play. And that's true. When your heart stops, your brain apparently does still keep kicking for a few minutes before it, shuts off. So a dream demon could still, you're dead, you're done, there is no escape. But this dream demon can still screw with you for another couple of minutes until your brain goes. That is just an incredibly creepy thought, and it's a wonderful addition to the Nightmare on Elm Street mythology. Unfortunately, it's like one of the only good things in that movie. Jackie Earle Haley I did like, but
hey, Rooney Mara went on.
Yeah.
Found the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Well done.
And she did kind of throw the movie under the bus, though. You know, it was saying, "Oh, it's just something I did." It's like credit where credit's due.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I mean, if I ever make it big because of these silly YouTube videos, I'm like, "Oh, it was just something I did in my spare time."
Especially the one with my sister.
Especially the one with my sister.
That one was rubbish.
That's a favor for her. Okay, so yeah, that quote, if nothing else from that movie, really stuck with me. That's a very provocative idea. I really like that one. Okay, so your third one.
Okay, this is my third and final one, and this one, so we had The Way I Think About Guys, and we had Very Poignant.
Yes.
And now we just have, like, you know, Hold Your Head Down and Shake It in Shame, and it comes from Vampires.
Wait, the John Carpenter one?
That's the one.
Okay.
Where they say, they will be unstoppable unless we stop them.
Why, yes.
I can't even continue.
Does James Woods say that?
Yes.
Well, anything he says is
Anything,
awesome.
James. And that's the whole point. It's
Kinda
like,
makes that movie.
I was watching this.
Makes it watchable.
I swear, I was in college, and I think I was with like my friend Alfredo or something. I was with a few people, or maybe
Good friend, good sauce.
he's a good friend. Anyhow, the point is, we're watching it, and I bust up, and no one else. Oh, I was with McCarthy. McCarthy was there.
You know who that is.
We know who that is, and
Hi, Erin.
hi. So she was there, and they said that, and I thought it was the funniest thing, but I don't know if anyone else found it as funny, because James Woods says everything with just so much conviction that you're just like, yeah, dude, they're unstoppable unless we stop them. And I saw that movie once. I didn't even particularly like it, but I, to this day, continue to say that, because it's just ludicrous, and I mean, it gives me natural rouge on my cheeks. I'm already ready.
Who needs makeup? I mean, hell, I still quote stuff from Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Swing the chain, swing the chain.
On top of a waterfall.
On a waterfall, swing the chain.
And the Taco Bell.
That's a lot of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts.
See the movie. It's a great movie.
Yes, maybe you'll be the 8th person on the face of the earth who actually likes that film.
It's true.
We counted there's 7. And that probably,
They're all our friends.
That probably includes Stephen Odekirk, the guy who made the movie. I'm sure he likes it.
Yeah.
Is it stupid? Oh, yes. But in the best way.
So good.
Alright, so my final quote is also one of the stupidest things I have ever heard uttered in any movie ever.
I know what it is.
Yeah,
It's better than mine.
it's the worst line in any movie ever. You probably already know what it is. Now, when I reveal this to you, keep in mind that someone wrote this line. Someone actually sat back and was like, what should she say here? It's got to be something cool. It's got to be something that makes the audience stand up and go, yeah!
After all, she's an Oscar-winning actress.
That's right. Did she win an Oscar at that time?
She was already an Oscar-winning
Was
actress.
she? Okay.
Yeah.
So, keep in mind that someone wrote this. It was in the script. I don't think it was an ad-lib. I think this is scripted. It probably went through several drafts.
Oh.
So it probably started really crap, and evolved to this point.
And I'm sure that they didn't just, take one. We got it.
Got it, yeah. This was probably their best take. Okay, so X-Men, Bryan Singer's X-Men. This is towards the end of the movie where Storm is getting her butt kicked by Toad. And he kicks her down an elevator shaft, but unbeknownst to Toad, but knownst to X-Men fans, Storm can fly. And she does, and she levitates out of the elevator shaft and hovers towards him. Her eyes are white with energy. If you don't know Storm and can't tell by her name, she can control the weather. And so the dark clouds gather and the wind picks up and Toad's hanging on for dear life with his tongue because he's a toad. And she scowls at him and she says in the most impassioned and dramatic voice possible, "Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?" dramatic pause. She doesn't say dramatic pause, but she does pause dramatically. The same thing that happens to everything else.
Chew on that for a while.
This line, I saw this in the theater. This line managed to cause physical pain. You could hear it. You could hear the entire audience go, mm. Yeah. Have you seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show? You know, after the whole time warp sequence,
sure.
When everyone's, time warp again, ah, thump, and they all fall on the ground. And Susan Sarandon and Barry Boss. Susie. We're like that, you know? She says, Brett, she's like, say something. And he goes, say. Anyone know how to Madison? And if you watch her, she goes, stupidity hurts.
Yeah.
That line, everyone in the theater, their life was shortened by about a day. Everyone died a little inside. Someone wrote that line.
That's hilarious.
It passed. Someone called cut and said, okay, we got it.
Hallie, that was fantastic.
That made it through editing, made it through test screenings. It's still on the DVD release. You'd think they would have cut that out.
I do recall seeing that for the first time, and you think that it's going to be like, what happens to a toad?
We're going to have some Schwarzenegger level comeback right here, your badassery. And he said, do you know what happens when a toad gets struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
Okay.
Huh. What? Yes, I suppose that would be what happens when a toad is struck by lightning. And then she strikes him with lightning and he goes flying. So things go flying when they're struck by lightning. Toads or anything else.
It's entertaining.
Yeah. So, those are 3 quotes each that have just stuck with us over the years for whatever reason. And a cat just fell from the sky. So, do you have your own quotes that have stuck with you for whatever reason? Well, there's a convenient comment section.
Can I go like this?
Down there.
We're kind of related.
We are so related. Okay, kids. Have fun. Share your wonderful quotes in the comments or video responses. We're gonna... What do we need to do? Oh, it's Christmas. We have to do presents and...
Yeah.
And I wrapped a new present, so you have to reorganize everything under the tree.
It's my weird. Yeah. And every time we open a present, I rearrange everything yet again. It has to be picture perfect no matter what.
Christmas morning takes forever.
Yes, it does. We should just stop buying so much stuff.
Yes. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Christmas.
And if you don't celebrate Christmas,
Happy
well,
December
happy
25th.
25th of December. Yeah, I hope that's Tuesday. Should be all right. Yeah.
All right.
Bye. All right, let's see. Here's a good final shot right here.
Good.